Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. We have a box. We have a box of goodies, and I'm a little bit excited because unfortunately I saw the list of what was in there. So it's not a total surprise to me. It will be to you, obviously. It's a surprise that I got the box in the first place, and I'm going to let you work out who it's from. Those of you that follow me have heard of the big box, yeah? And the big box was sent to me by a very kind lady who couldn't take her orchid collection as she was moving countries. So they were donated to me to look after. And in appreciation for me looking after them, we have Son of Big Box, or Big Box Junior. I'll work out which one I'm going to call the plants out of here, but I always refer to the plants out of the big box as the big box orchids. So these will be Son of Big Box, or something like that. Now, these have come from a so-called reputable nursery, so I don't expect any problems with the plants themselves, and as expected I wouldn't expect any problems with the wrapping either. And what I'm going to do is just get the plants out because they're all nicely self-contained, and then we'll get the box out of the way and we can start getting the plants out of the packaging. You know, we've got something else is in here that's not a plant. What is that? I haven't a clue what that is. Oh, it might be one of those things that sucks the moisture out of the air. You know, look at that later. That's not important. Right, exit the box. Go there. I can throw the rubbish in there, can't I? Right. Cool, that's heavy. Where's my camera? You can see, can't you? Yes. This is paper and sellotape, so this will just tear without risking the plant inside. That sounds well. Oh, I forgot to say, these have come from Schwerter. They're from not so sunny Germany as it is at the moment. They certainly like using a lot of paper, don't they? Let's see, where's my skizzers? I'll make life easy. Less to unwrap now. Oh. Right, what have we got here then? What we've got here is a lovely new growth. It's not bad. Cattleya. We'll go over what they are in a minute. Again, I think I'll just get the plants out of the outside wrapping, and then I can get all that polythene off of the pots so that we can have a look at them afterwards, on the grounds that I can see I'm going to need scissors or a knife to get that polythene off, whereas this paper is coming off quite easy. In the main, this is a big plant, whatever it is. Interesting. Interesting. I'll try not to get all this bark all over my floor. So I'll have to clean that up as well. Now I'm going to unwrap the pots afterwards. It's just easier. Right, what else have we got then? What we've got so far is a unifoliate Cattleya of some sort and a bifoliate Cattleya of some sort. Latest new growth looks quite good. Just opening its leaves. There's another one with most of the media in the packaging. Obviously not very good at sealing them, are they? Right, I hope that's going to do well. I know what that is, and It's not the best example of that plant, I must admit. But I also know you've got a hell of a job to get a decent one nowadays. Sort of grown in popularity such that it's not very easy to grow from seed. Therefore you're looking at propagation, and they're slow growers. They take quite a long time to get to a mature plant that's big enough to take, you know, to split up into 3 or 4 others. Consequently, if that's the only way they're being reproduced, they're also very expensive, and it's becoming difficult. There was a time when they were, you had, you know, nobody wanted them, so they didn't hold their price. But now people do. People like me. I've been after one for a while. Oh, that's a lovely strong new growth there. Right. I'll switch the camera off for a bit while I undo these pots and get all those bits off, because that's just tedious. But that's a nice little group of plants there. So we'll see what we've got. I'll be back. Okay, this first one is Cattleya leopoldii, with Leo on the front. It's going to have spots associated with it, so possibly a spotty bloom. It's a nice base to this plant. There's some good roots lying around in there, some old ones. Going back towards the back of the plant, I'd expect to see those in not such good condition, but up the front end there's some good roots in here. Yeah, that's not bad at all. And the latest new growth on it is nice and strong. Previous new growth will be this one. Good pair of leaves, nice and clean. Previous growth before that will be this one. Again, a nice pair of leaves. So the front end of this plant is looking good, and a lovely strong new growth. That's big enough to bloom. It doesn't look like it ever has on this piece, but it's certainly large enough. And maybe this growth will be the one. That will depend on me looking after it properly. So that's that one. It's a nice plant. Nice plant. Let's get that one out of the way. The next one we'll have a look at is a soggy mess. So there will be a kitchen session quickly. This is absolutely sopping wet. Now, this is Cattleya Jimani, variety Cerulean, and it's just the fact that it's called a Cattleya. It shouldn't be in a soggy mass like that. That looks like it's pure sphagnum, but there are some reasonable roots there, and there are some new ones pushing out on the previous growth, not the latest one. That doesn't look like it's started. It may have just started to produce its roots, but they need to get some air around them. That's just a soggy mass at the moment, so that's got to come out of there. Yeah, looking at the progression of the plant, that's a previous growth. This film on the leaves is probably, could be a pesticide, could be calcium, could be a fungicide. It depends what they've been putting on their plants, doesn't it? But that may have been pre-sprayed, knowing that it was going to another country. We'll have the sheaths off while we're at it. Make sure everything's nothing's lurking in there. Doesn't look like there is. And a nice strong new growth to work with, so that one will pull on quite nicely. Again, that hasn't bloomed. And looking at the progression of the bulbs, it was probably grown from a seedling rather than a division, and the tiny little seedling bulbs have been taken off probably to get it in that pot. But yeah, we'll work on that one, but it's got to come out of that soggy mess. What I'll do with that now, well, when I turn me back, is take it out of that pot and try and tease off some of that moss and start the drying process, because that is just soggy. It's actually got water in the bottom of the pot. Right, so that's that one. That one out the way. Ugh, I'm saving the worst till last, unfortunately. Now, this is a nice plant. This is a younger plant by the looks of it, and this has definitely progressed from a seedling. So this is a seedling that's growing on. Whether it's actually reached blooming size or not, we'll have to find out. Well, this is a Laelia tenebrosa aurea. So we can look the blooms up on that. Lovely strong latest growth, nice leaf, and a whole new set of roots just coming out. So that one's in a good state to arrive with. Yeah, because whatever I choose to do with that, it's in a state of growth. And new roots pushing out with nice healthy root tips. I mean, it's obviously going to go in a clay pot. I've still got some. I'm running short on the holy clay pots though. I might have to go in an ordinary clay pot just with large bark. But nonetheless, that still gives it plenty of air. But yeah, we'll deal with that one. Nice looking plant. And then we'll save what should have been the best and turned out to be the worst. I'd have been embarrassed to send this out, quite honestly. This is Dendrobium Victoria Regina, or Regina, however you want to say it. We've discussed that. What we've got here is a tiny little piece that's not even in the pot, and that piece that also wasn't in the pot, that does have a few roots on the end of it, and a kiki with roots, and the kiki's got a new growth at the base. So I've got something to work with, but what I haven't got is a nice well-rooted plant in a pot, because basically these were just sitting on top of that pot. They weren't even in it. So I'm going to have to do a bit of work with that one. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to think about it. It is a deciduous dendrobium at the end of the day, so I'd expect the older cane to have possibly dropped its leaves. I mean, I could even remove that cane there and start the plant again at the base of the kiki, because that is unlikely to produce a new growth. So I may well just take that cane off and call the kiki the base of the plant, bearing in mind it has roots and a new growth. So that from there upwards would make quite a reasonable plant, and then try and get that kiki to grow as well, because that also has a new growth at the base. And obviously it's going to be mounted and it needs something done with it immediately. And if I put the two pieces together like that, what you can see is the basis of a new plant. So I can work with that. I've had worse. But the downside is it is highly likely that this cane may try and bloom if it's come off of a mature plant, and if it does, I might have to stop it and get some strength back into the base of the plant. But those are the four, and greatly appreciated. As I said, I've been after one of these. If I'd bought it myself, I wouldn't have been prepared to buy it unless it was in bloom to guarantee it is the true thing. But as it's come from Schwerter, it will be the real thing. It's just a matter of the label's in German, so that's not a lot good to me. I'm not too happy with that temperature. If that's the only temperature on the label, it's wrong. It is. It's actually saying that that's intermediate, 16 to 22. Dendrobium Victoria Reginae is a cool grower. Although it comes from the Philippines, which you'd assume is tropical, it isn't. It grows high up. It's actually quite a cool grower. If you get it too warm, it just stalls. So we'll work on that and see where we get to. So thank you. Big surprise, I must admit. But this was in appreciation of looking after the big box full. So now we've got Big Box Junior to look after as well. All good fun. Thanks a bunch. Oh, I forgot to say, I'll add it on the end, but as a consequence of getting some new plants, there will obviously be some more kitchen time this year. In fact, there'll be some kitchen time pretty quickly. Videos to come in the future. I often film those sort of videos in advance and then just put them to one side for days when I can't be bothered to film anything. They do occur, you know. I know it looks like I film something every day, but I don't always. See you next time.